Test, 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 test. Alrighty, we are good. Email is right above me there. It's CoachDmoney@gmail.com. And donations right below me, right there. It's paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Alrighty, and welcome to, which one is this? This is Tech Support number 6. With Coach Steve Money, of course. Coach Steve Money channel. Please subscribe and like and hit the notification bell. That way you know when I am doing a stream. And upcoming streams will be daily, or weekdays rather, Monday through Friday. The Ramsey Show After Show, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Every weekday, and that's even if the Ramsey Show is a replay. I will still do a new after show after that. Mondays we have alternating tech support and Ramsey coach support. Did Ramsey coach support last week, so now this time it's tech support. Wednesdays and Saturdays 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Old man video gaming. Currently I'm playing PC Building Simulator, Dark, DARQ, and Lost in Random. Let's see if Bella is available. We on Sundays at 8 p.m. we play a game called Trine in father-daughter video gaming, and we play co-op games. And check out our previous game was called It Takes Two, and that took 13 streams, but we did a complete playthrough of that. And is that all? Tuesdays used to be board gaming with Steve and Glenn, but Mr. Glenn is too busy to do that. Hopefully we'll get that back soon. Alrighty. So, what I do on Monday nights is I either go to the tech support subreddit or the Dave Ramsey subreddit. It's reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey or /tech support. And let's do tech support. And basically people post, I sort by new, people post their problems with their electronic equipment, and most of what I answer is computer stuff. I will comment or answer other things if I know anything about them. So let's check it out. This one, let's see, 3 minutes ago, my Canon M50, that's a printer, is showing SD card is write protected with every card. None of them are locked. This started happening after I stupidly tried to put an SD card the wrong way. I didn't put it all the way inside, just a little. Why don't you just meet me in the middle? Losing my mind just a little. I don't know if I damaged something, okay? Apparently, if every card you have, it will. If you tried those cards in other devices and they work fine, then that's broken, unfortunately. And I don't know what that would cause it to think it's locked. Again, you probably just broke one of the contacts in there or something. And probably no easy fix. It just depends on how that printer is built as to whether if it's just a small circuit board that hooks onto the motherboard somehow. You can look at that in the well, let's try it. Canon M50. Whoops, 50. How about we do Canon M50 SD slot. It's a stupid me. It's not a printer. It's a freaking camera. Okay, so yeah, so you'd have to take that thing apart and see if, yeah, I don't know on a camera. I don't know that you could that would be fixable. Let's see if they have it taken apart. Taken apart. Yeah, it does not look like it. Oh, there it is. Well, that's a similar card, and so let's take a look at that. So it may be similar. If that's the card reader, like right there, it could be just a board like that, and so you could possibly fix it if you did that. Depends on your skill level, of course. But yeah, thought it was a printer. Yeah, Canon does make printers. Let's see. 7 minutes ago, how to delete registry directory from Windows RE command line. That's a release candidate, I think. I need to delete the Windows System 32 config directory that houses the registry as part of a school project for school in the Windows RE command line. I'm trying to use the RD command, but I'm getting an error that it cannot be deleted because the files are in use by another process. Yeah, that's gonna happen if you boot up to that. You'd have to use a different like an install disk or something to boot up to. So that's how you would delete it. You basically, if you boot to an install disk, you're booting to a different operating system. If you're booting to that operating system, I think it's automatically locked, and you cannot delete it. Because when you boot up, it's using that registry and it's using the config directory. And as usual, I check my notifications. All right, that's Matty Bags' information he was sending to me. Alrighty. But yeah, so that's that one. Also 7 minutes ago, and this is not like up to date. This is when now it's 9 minutes ago. Okay, so it does go up to date. Cool. Hello all, sorry if this is in the wrong subreddit. I searched the internet but couldn't find anything, so I'm starting here. Does anyone know if when I have speaker fill enabled on my Realtek integrated audio via the Realtek audio console in Windows 10, will audio play in 5.1 surround sound if the source supports it? I want to make sure that if I have speaker fill enabled, that sources in true 5.1 won't be upmixed. Most audio played through my speakers on this PC will be in stereo, so I'd like to keep the speaker fill on, but I don't want to lose out on true surround sound when it's played. Yeah, you're going to be limited to the capabilities of what the card can do. The short answer is that I do not know. I do not know at all. See if the motherboard has the connections on it for a 5.1 system, because it would have to have those connections on it to be able to play it, I would think. Nobody's commented, so we can't add on that one. All right, this from 11 minutes ago. So, traveling salesman problem. So basically, I thought it'd be fun to put every U.S. national park, monument, seashore, forest, preserve into some kind of algorithm and have it tell me what the shortest route is, but use deriving directions instead of as the crow flies. Is there anyone who knows how to accomplish this? No. No, I do not. You'd have to like manually do the driving directions. Unless there's a website that already does this that you want to have it do, is what I would be thinking of. Yeah. Good luck with that one. 18 minutes ago, router settings says not connected to the internet, but all devices have a connection. Let's get some clarification, perhaps, from the post. I have a Netgear R7000P router that is in access point mode connected to my Netgear R7000, which is the main router. The R7000 has Wi-Fi turned off, and the R7000P controls the Wi-Fi networks. Inside the Wi-Fi settings, it shows that I am not connected to the internet, but every device that is connected to the Wi-Fi is working except my Amazon Fire Stick. I have no idea why this is showing up like this. Any idea what's going on? I've already tried rebooting both routers and it didn't fix the issue. What I'm thinking of is that the devices are connected maybe to a different router, or like if they're phones, they're using data even though they are connected to your router. It can be connected to the router and not use that internet, even if the internet is working on that, even if the Wi-Fi is enabled. The R7000P controls the Wi-Fi networks. So if it's connected to the R7000P for the 7000 main router has Wi-Fi turned off. Yeah, that doesn't matter for the internet getting to the 7000P though, because it does not connect to that by Wi-Fi, I don't believe, unless if you don't, I don't know if you have that connected via a network cable to the 7000P or the or using Wi-Fi. All right. But no, if you have so if you have Wi-Fi turned off on that, you have to be connected by the by a cable, and so they're getting it that way then through the cable. Let's see if anybody else answered. Maybe that your router is not connected to the internet, but there are no issues in devices connecting to the router. Have you contact the internet service provider to see if there are no issues or configuration that you need to use? Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. If you have the R7000 is the main router, and if you have the Wi-Fi turned off on that, then yeah, maybe they're still connecting to that. The access point mode may may be like an extender and such, but the 7000 is if it's doing that, if that's just being an extender, then you're still using the settings on this, and if the Wi-Fi is turned off, yeah, they shouldn't be connected to it if the Wi-Fi is turned off, wouldn't think. And the R7000P controls the Wi-Fi networks. I think I may be confused on that. All right, that's a weird one. Every device is connected to the Wi-Fi is working. Yeah, I would make sure to see what router / network it's connected to on those other devices. And the Amazon Fire Stick would not be working for whatever reason it's not working for. Interesting. Okay. No, don't know everything. And of course, limited information, etc., etc. So, just doing the best I can here. I need to back up and be able to fully restore a program with configurations. Razer Synapse 3, and that is I believe that is a mouse, I think. Cloud-based hardware. Yes, it's a mouse. Cloud-based hardware, though. Oh, Synapse 3. Okay, so it's the cloud-based software that controls your keyboard and mouse, I guess, and perhaps some other. All right, let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. Razer laptops and accessories come with this nifty tool called Razer Synapse, which lets you control everything from lighting to fan speed. Okay, here's a guide to get you started. Okay, so that you can control the lighting on it, sounds like. All right. Okay, Razer pulled support for the nano leaf lights on its Synapse software, needing now a secondary program with more limitations. However, my current installation will work perfectly until I update it. Interesting. So I would like to be able to back up the program and its configurations, as I see no reason to upgrade to a newer version, and would like for it to continue working if I were to reinstall Windows or something. The original disc that came with it, if a disc came with it. I know most things just tell you to download it from the internet now, or check to see if you can download previous versions on the website, because sometimes you can do that. But that may be it. But as far as being able to have a program installed and then just be able to back up the program and its configurations, yeah, I don't know. You could possibly install the new version and then just copy all the files, including the configuration files and such, and write them over the new files, so that the old files would be in there. But that may or may not work, because there could be different registry items that the installation for the new one puts in there. You could also try just putting the program in, but again, if it has Windows registry items in it at all, you have to have the install program in order to get those in there. Unless you search the registry for every instance of Synapse software, and there could also be other registry entries that are included in this process that don't have the name Synapse into it, and so that's why that's very difficult. Zero comments on this one. So yeah, but as far as you're basically trying to reverse engineer the program and configurations. So again, you can copy the files, but just putting them on a computer doesn't necessarily work. It's like the old days, people used to share games. You would just copy the files, copy the folder where it installed the files, and that was it. And that was the really old days. And then they made the Windows registry, and basically that's a list of it, of like settings, and also it's saying this file is here, and this file is here, and this file that you need is here. So it's just one big list, and you got to get those entries in there in order for it to work correctly. You can try it, but I don't think that just copying it would work. And you can't, as far as I know, there's no way to have it look for all that information and then suck up the program files and the configurations and the registry entries and like reverse engineer and install executable. I don't think there's no way to any way to do that. One thing you could do is you could back up the entire drive and make a drive image, and that would have the Windows installed on it, as well as this particular version of the software. And then you could just start with that every time, and then either upgrade Windows if you go to a new version of that, and just don't upgrade the Synapse software. Alrighty. Gigabyte software, more software. Just put together my Windows 11 build. I have not messed with that at all. I should install it on a test computer at the shop, but I have not done that yet. Basically, I wouldn't put it like on my personal computer because I stream with that every week. And of course, we use my computer at work. I use that for billing and such, and it's basically all I use while I'm there. So I'm not going to put a brand new operating system on it and have it screw up. So I'm waiting until let other people have screw ups and let them get some fixes into it. And then perhaps we'll go to it. Basically, whenever the boss says to do that. Because he's the owner. So we'll go to Windows 11 when he wants to go to Windows 11. Okay, so having difficulty installing any Gigabyte software. There you go. Maybe their software is not Windows 11 compatible. App Center fails to install with the error use DLL failed. Setup will now abort. RGB Fusion 2.0, the only software from them I care about, frankly, comes as a 7-zip setup SFX executable, extracts and nothing happens. No, so you could just not use it. I know you need the RGB Fusion, that's for controlling lights. So you could just not use it. Because you don't need App Center. But I see, yes, you probably want to use it to control your lights on the case, etc. Alright, let's see what the comment is. Oh, it's automatic. We do not recommend that users try upgrading to Windows 11 straight away. Waiting a week or more will allow for more guides, articles, fixes, and how-tos to be made. There you go. And also, it will give Gigabyte time, perhaps, to update their system. And this motherboard with the latest F4 BIOS, it's possible that BIOS isn't Windows 11, fully Windows 11 compatible as well. Alrighty. 53 minutes ago. Gmail open attachments as preview by default is gone. Now it opens in Drive by default. Mildly annoying, but I want to fix. I used to click on Word attachments and it would open the file as a preview within Gmail by default. Now when I click on it, it will send it directly to my drive to edit. I don't want that. It's filling my drive and I do not like it one bit. Before this change, each attachment had 3 icons. To still use the preview, but I would like it to be default. Yeah. I would Google, let's see, reset Gmail to default view settings. Oh, there's no way to reset setting. You have to go through each setting and disable anything you mess with from what you described. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's for set. That's not for the view. So, settings, CL settings. Settings. So the top chooses settings page. This is general, labels, or inbox. Made a change and don't like it. Open Chrome, go to your Gmail, go to the settings page. Let's see. Web application, so nothing to install or install. There's not factory, return to factory settings. There should be no problem with the tab label called all email, but it does not replace Gmail's system label all mail. Oh, that's missing messages. Classic Gmail look. You're stuck with a new version, or you can select the Web 1.0 version that does not use any dynamic features at all. Alright, so yeah, you got to, I guess, figure out what you can do. Maybe do more Windows searching, internet searching for it to see if there's some way to do that. I didn't check for Gmail attachments default. Maybe there would be something for that. All right, an hour ago. Blocking of comments due to karma points. For comments that were previously blocked due to negative karma points, if you get positive points and become unblocked, do your previous blocked comments get unblocked too, or it's still blocked and unseen by the public? This is a Reddit thing that they're talking about. So like if I would go to somebody's post, like, or even this one, and I comment, "You suck," and I don't have enough karma, I think I do. But if you have negative karma points, right, that's when it's a problem. Then your post can't be seen by anybody. So I don't think it goes retroactive like that. Interesting. There's always somebody that wants something to do something like this, where go back in time and do all the everything that I posted that's blocked. I want people to be able to see it now, or doesn't want. Maybe he wants to make sure that's not going to happen. All right, iPhone XR, don't know anything about them really. Keeps randomly restarting. Hey everyone, I have my iPhone XR. I've never had an iPhone. It won't be hot, glitching, or anything when this happens. Happened once a few days ago. It's happened twice today. Does anyone know what reason why? Also, loading circles seems to be a bit smaller than usual and only loads once and then stops. Phone goes back to normal after approximately 30 seconds. Had this phone for 1.5 years now. It hasn't really happened before. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been an update, since it changed the size of the loading circle, perhaps. So, and here we go, checking my Maybe another email from Maddie Bags, perhaps? Yep, another email from the Maddie Bags. Alrighty. Loud bang noise from my PC when it gets connected to the internet. That's crazy. Let's see. A few days ago, I started having issues with my internet, so I reset it. Don't know what that means. It means reset the router or the modem. And once the connection came back and it got connected to PC through an Ethernet cable, okay, there was a really loud random bang noise as if something metal fell inside the PC. It happened twice in about 5 seconds. I checked everything and all seems fine. Nothing has fallen. PC kept working fine. Internet connection was all right. Later, I remember that it happened once more in the past. Is it something to be worried about? I've Googled a lot and couldn't find a single person having the same problems as me. I'm not that familiar with tech stuff, unfortunately. All right, well, I thought, see, it says loud bang noise from my PC when it gets connected to the internet. That doesn't mean every time. Like every time you turn the computer on, or if you take the cable out and put it back in. It's possible, like maybe I don't know, a bang, a loud bang. That's weird. I don't know what that would be. Let's see what the comments are. What did you see when you opened it? The OP, that's the original poster. Open what? The PC, it all looked fine, just like always. Everything was connected and working normally. It has happened only twice in these 1.5 years. It's just the noise, nothing else. Yeah. Oh, it is. I wonder if it does happen every time. But he said this one time, and then later, you remember that it happened once more in the past. It's a weird phrasing there. Maybe not American or English. All right. So yeah, but that's a weird one. The next question would be, does it happen every time you connect to the internet, or just that one time and then the other time in the past that nothing is broken, so there's nothing. It could be cosmetic part or something like that, or something that doesn't matter in there. It's possible it fell and is at the bottom of the case or something like that. So you could check that. You could unplug everything, open the case up, and like shake it to see if there's screws or anything. You don't go crazy with it, but you just shake it gently and see if you hear like a screw noise or whatever. But a loud bang, it doesn't. A screw falling would be. Do I have a screw handy? Oh, I got this PCI slot cover. Let's see. Something like that, or that I wouldn't call that a bang. A bang. That would be just more like a clanking. And so, like if a screw dropped, the screw was loose inside the case. Alright, bizarre PC crashing with no obvious cause. Hello, I've lately been having issues in which my PC will occasionally behave in a most bizarre way. How bizarre? Sort of like what you'd expect of a system that's crashed. Yes, I was trying to remember more of the words of that song to sing. I'll just go on. But it doesn't actually blue screen and will still react to inputs. It just won't actually do anything. Watching YouTube videos at a point, and the video suddenly froze for a moment. I've been doing a lot of yawning on streams lately. Where was I? Video suddenly froze for a moment, then the spinning buffer icon appeared and wouldn't stop. Even attempting to rewind the video to a point just seconds prior wouldn't do anything, even though that part of the video should still be in memory. Yeah, it should be. Browser was still seemingly working, but now it wouldn't load anything. I was again browsing the internet, so it is able to work again. I guess after a restart, it works again. Obviously, since browsing the internet again, the screen suddenly went black for a moment and then came back. The machine is now exhibiting basically the same symptoms as before. Maybe video issue. I was in the middle of playing a game when it suddenly froze and the screen became stuck on top of every other window. Alt-tabbing would let me select a different window to try to switch to, but the game screen remained on top of it no matter what. I could even hit the Windows button to force the dash bar up, but that still wouldn't actually let me do anything. Taskbar maybe, not dash, which is that. Oh, you don't see that. You just see the browser window. Never mind. Final instance was again when gaming. This time, rather than freezing altogether, the game I was playing still ran, except for the fact the audio was now frozen, while the game continued. Otherwise, it was run fine though. Again, I couldn't actually make it switch to another window. All of these instances had to use the physical power button on my PC to force it off, due to how none of it would work. Okay, so you couldn't basically, so that is like a crash that is locked up. So if you can't click on the start button and hit start shutdown, if you can't go through that process on it and you have to use the physical power button, you hold it in for 7 seconds, and you only do that in cases like that he's having where it won't respond any other way. And the reason is because the computer is constantly reading and writing to the hard drive, and it could corrupt some of your files, your operating system files. Let's see. Okay. It then always comes back on without issue and gives me no sign of having had anything wrong. Just a moment. Now, the real confusing part about it, as I said, I get no indicator that something actually went wrong other than the software getting screwy. No blue screen of death, no error message. It just becomes partially unresponsive. I can still move my mouse around and click on buttons and windows when it gets like this, but they won't actually make anything happen. So I can even hit the Windows key, click on the power icon to bring up the list of shutdown options, and then click on them, but they do nothing. Oh! Okay, so what he's saying is he can hit that, and he can see shut down on it, or restart on it, but when he clicks it, it doesn't do anything. Even the event viewer doesn't have anything of interest listed as a potential cause after starting it back up. The only hint was that I noticed that CPU usage in the game's dashboard during the second mentioned gaming crash was listed as negative 9%. Then actual number. Meanwhile, the GPU usage was listed as 0%. And to clarify, I do have a dedicated GPU, that's video card, graphics processing unit. If anybody has any idea what the program is, please provide your input. I am not particularly knowledgeable about this sort of thing, and I can't figure it out myself on account of a lack of any sort of error codes. Thank you in advance. No, the thing to say would be how often it happens. He said lately you've been having it, and he's got 4 times. Will days go by and that doesn't happen? That kind of thing. That would be interesting. It's possible that when you look in the event viewer, maybe you're not aware. Maybe you're not maybe there is something in there that's related to it, but just you don't have any experience with it, and so you wouldn't be able to pick that out. It's possible, but it's also possible that it doesn't click anything. Because if it like freezes, but you're still able to click on the start button, and the menu pops up. But when you click on the buttons in there, it doesn't do anything. The event viewer could be not working as well. What the person could do the next time it happens is to like write down the time and leave it running for a while in that condition, so that you can tell if the event viewer keeps logging stuff. But if you have it on for 10 minutes after the event viewer has stopped logging stuff, then you'll know. Because if it stops logging stuff, and then the next thing that will come up is the boot up sequence stuff in event viewer. And so then you would know. You check everything. You check the RAM. You check the hard drive, meaning run tests on them to see if there's anything wrong with them. Since it sounds like it doesn't happen every time though, and those are the worst to try to figure out. Like this would be the kind of thing where people would bring it to me, and they had it happen 4 times, but they can't make it happen while it's in front of me, and I keep it and do tests on it, and otherwise keep an eye on it and do stuff to it to try to make it crash like that, but it never does it for me. And then it's extremely frustrating when I keep it for a few days and I can't make it have the problem, and they take it home and it does have the problem. But in that case, we can maybe look at their power. Maybe they have a bad power bar they're plugging into, a surge protector, extension cord type thing. That they are plugging it into. And in that case, I would say, well, try putting it in just the wall, try different rooms, and see if you still get the same thing. And to clarify, I do have a dedicated GPU. That means it's a actual video card that slides into the motherboard. A slot on the motherboard. And so you could take that out and try using the onboard video, if there's onboard video on the motherboard, to see if the problem might be that video card. Because that could be it, but the way it's acting as far as like it's still like the menu still works. Let's see what this one comment is. It's just the bot, the automatic bot thing. Nobody's answering stuff tonight. That was over an hour ago. All right. Mozilla Thunderbird Pros out there. That would be another browser. No, email. Mozilla Firefox is the Mozilla, isn't it? Mozilla Firefox. That's where Firefox comes from, I believe. And they made a email application called Thunderbird. Saving all emails to hard drive. Hard drive now full. I took my computer in, and the guy at the shop said I needed a computer with more storage. Seems strange to me that I need to buy a computer just to handle emails. You could have other stuff on there. Shouldn't the emails be saved in Gmail? Any input on how to free up storage space? Appreciate it. Or do I really need a computer with more storage? Okay, so what we have going on here is Thunderbird is a program that downloads your email from the internet, just like Outlook just like Microsoft Outlook. And so if you are doing that, then it downloads it from the Gmail server and puts it on your individual computer. The alternative to that would be to go to mail.google.com, and then you are accessing a website that belongs to Google that accesses their mail server, so you're looking at it right on their mail server and you're not downloading it to your computer. You can see the image of it on your computer, but you're not actually downloading it to your computer in that case. So that's the difference between that. So yeah, so if you're using Thunderbird, you're using a program that is downloading it, and so just doing it the other way and just going to the Google website, the Gmail website, mail.google.com, and then you log in, and then you got your email right there, and you can do that on any computer in the universe. So you're not limited to, oh, if your computer breaks, or if your hard drive goes bad or something, or if your computer gets full, that has nothing. It has nothing to do with it. Just 4 years of emails. It depends on like if you have a lot of attachments, a lot of like picture attachments, music or movies attachments, or anything like that on there. And so, yeah. The guy at the shop shouldn't have said you needed a computer with more storage and that's it. Should have looked at like where the most of the files are that have it, because if it's stuff in documents, or if it's stuff in pictures, or if it's stuff in videos, then it's stuff that the user is putting on there. Doesn't have anything to do with email, unless it's an attachment that was in the email and he specifically downloaded it to, and that separates it from the email, and that puts a copy of it on the hard drive. So that's what the guy at the shop should have been more into that, with more forthcoming with the information there, and also trying to get more information from the user to see what all the stuff is, because I mean it could be filled up with temporary files if it has some kind of malware or virus on there. That can fill up a computer with just junk files, or as I said, temporary files and stuff like that. And you would just need to just delete those off of there and delete what was causing that to happen. Any input on how to free up storage space? Appreciate it. Or do I really need a computer with more storage? I wonder if you took it home too. If you took it back. So probably not. You probably don't need to. But again, at this point, I would advise, as far as I would look to see what is actually filling it up. There's a free, very small program called Tree Size, and that will show you immediately where your biggest folder is, as far as amount of information that's in it. And it will, you can immediately see what the problem is, whether it's the Windows folder, or it's one of the user folders, or it's a system folder, something like that. And then you would be able to immediately see what the problem is, and then you know what it was, and then that's when the user would say, oh, I didn't know that my videos / my whatever that I was doing, I didn't know it would fill up the hard drive that quickly, or it could, you'll see if it's going to be a virus thing or something else like that. but then you'd be able to deal with it. But just emails, even if it's a lot of emails, it's not going to completely fill up a hard drive. Not usually, even in 4 years. Unless you do crazy, crazy amounts of email. And always get attachments and such. Alrighty, let's see what time it is. 8:51. Alright, spent a lot of time on that one. Broken LED TV screen. I have an LED TV that was hit with a tiny container of Vaseline because of bad aim. Don't throw anything near your TV. Is it worth fixing if the screen is not actually cracked on the front, but I think it's something with the actual LED light? First time posting it. Sorry if it isn't allowed. Delicious Nose is who that is. 8154. The actual LED light. So, yeah, not nearly enough information. Does he mean the LED lights that would be like for power or something else that would show you, like the red light that's on, like when you turn it off on a lot of them? Like that, or are you talking about the lights within the television screen itself that make up the picture? It was not actually cracked, but I mean, it's possible that if you don't see it being cracked at all, it's possible that it hit and broke the circuit board or just blew like a fuse or something. And I've fixed the screen before by replacing a fuse on it about 5 years or so, and that's the TV still working. And that cost me, I think it was about less than $1. Alrighty. And that's not your problem with your computer, that's a problem with my computer. If it's going like that on that one, I don't know why. If I pull it down here, it's fine. And up here, right here, this is not going. It's only the top of it when that gets right there. Weird. Okay, I'll keep it right there then. I'm having a bad time with my $3,800 computer. That sucks to spend that much money for it and it be bad, having problems. Recent build listed here. So the parts list, we'll look at that in a moment if we need to. I've come across an issue with my XMP profile, RAM, clock speeds, and Windows blue screen of death errors. I believe it's a power consumption thing. Here's what I've tried with no success on getting all 4 sticks at 3600. The first thing you do is you disable XMP. And you don't try to overclock your RAM if you're trying to overclock it. So disable XMP so you're not using that and just boot up. And if it boots up fine, then yeah, the problem is with something you're doing. Your RAM is not fully compatible with each other maybe, or the motherboard. Windows blue screen of death, power consumption thing. It could be. You could try a different power supply. Turned off the motherboard default overclock and set up CPU. Like don't overclock and see if it works. So, and if it works without overclocking it, maybe you don't get to overclock it. It's a $3,800 computer. Spending that much on it, it should be fast enough for you with the stuff that's in it. I get it. If you can overclock it, you can overclock it, and more power to you. You know, and it's on you if you overheat it. Let's see. But, you know, if it doesn't work, maybe you just be happy with your very, very, very fast computer. We will look at this in a second, and we'll see how much better this is than my computer. Which also, I have a, you know, I'm not overclocked. I've never overclocked anything. Default overclock and set CPU and GPU speeds to default. Oh, turned off the motherboard default overclock and set CPU and GPU speeds to default, and tried overclocking chest memory. Did not boot, so I upgraded the BIOS to see if it wasn't supported, but after Googling, turns out it supports speeds up to 5,000 on the gigabyte website. Maybe the RAM you have isn't compatible with that. Took out 2 of the sticks and got a boot with XMP on and no immediate crashes, but I did not stress test it with any programs. Next thought was to see if 3 sticks would boot with XMP, and they did with no noticeable problem. So I tried to overclock everything to the motherboard defaults again and load the XMP profile and got a boot and could open programs with no crash. Okay, so I went back to 4 sticks and tried just the XMP profile and no overclocking the CPU and GPU, and got to Windows this time, but it's very unstable randomly with blue screen of death. Okay, so what he's saying is he has XMP on, and so he built an XMP profile, but he's not overclocking anything. He has all of the settings to default for the memory and the CPU or GPU. Oh, no, he's still trying to overclock the RAM. But I think he said overclocking just the memory. Okay, so this one's at overclock everything to the motherboard default. So he's not actually overclocking, but he's using the XMP profile to set the default for everything. But I don't know if that means except the memory, which he's still trying to overclock. Or she, it could be a female. So I went back to 4 sticks, tried, okay, no overclocking the CPU, GPU, okay. But yeah, if you're still trying to do that with the memory, again, I would try using the, your stress test on it using the XMP profile, because maybe the XMP profile is just the problem. Even if you're not overclocking anything, just using that. And yeah, I've seen that before where the XMP profile, having XMP enabled, would cause this no matter what you did, even if you didn't overclock it. So overclock the GPU and CPU to see what the motherboard, what the motherboard default is, enable the XMP profile, but downclocked it to what Newegg says the max supported speed is for the motherboard, and no problem, stable when playable. Okay, so he is enabling and downclocked it. Okay, so it can't handle the upper clocking. So I was trying to think, what is it Windows, my power supply, the motherboard, or the RAM speed? Could be any and all of it. 3 comments. You entered yourself in number 6. You reset the RAM speeds, the speeds authorized by retailer, manufacturer, and you have no problems. Run that then. What are the chances you would be okay with just running at hardware spec, right? And the OP said, and the first thing I said was Gigabyte website says it supports speeds up to 5,000 on 11th gen Intel CPU. And see, that's what the guy has already. He has basically a brand new CPU. I mean, yes, they've come out with the 12th gen since then. But my goodness, it's almost a $4,000 computer, and he wants to get one little bit more of speed out of it. I want to get in a little bit, and I'll risk screwing my machine up to do it. And the question is, why can't I run my RAM and XMP profile on all 4 sticks, but I can on 3? Some problem with the motherboard, maybe. Who knows? Some problem with the RAM. It'd be interesting if you wanted to further troubleshoot. You could try a different 3 sticks. Like try them all. Like don't like just take out the 1 and see if it works on 3. Then the next thing you do, you try it on 3 again, but you use the one you left out before, and you do that until you've left one out every single time. So that would be one way to troubleshoot to see if it's the RAM itself, or if it's one of those sticks is the problem. So yeah, very exciting. All right, it's 9 o'clock, quitting time. Let's check his build out, and let me curse his very name for trying to. I need it to be a little bit. Okay, a little bit faster. Yep, a $350 Intel Core i7 11th generation processor right there. Liquid cooler, of course he's doing liquid cooling. Motherboard, RAM, RGB, that means it lights up on the RAM. Two times 16 gigabytes, so those are the exact same thing. So he has 64 gigabytes of RAM is what the person has. And he has a old style spinning hard drive. Well, if you're going to spend that much money on it, why not just get, you could get 4 1 terabyte solid state drives. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Yeah, or just another two NVMe solid state drives. I mean, as long as you're spending that much money. Anyway, but that wasn't his problem. The fact that it has the spinning hard drive in it is not his problem. RTX 3080, how much is that? $1,600 on the video card by itself. My whole computer wasn't that. I've never spent that on it. I generally spend maybe $500 on the parts for them, including the video card. Case 850 watt power supply, Windows 10, fans, and the monitor. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. I get it, kind of. The website says, you should be able to do this. It should support that speed. And so you should be able to do this. But the whole thing, in the word overclocking, it's like means you're doing too much to it. And I know people do it, people do it all the time. But it's like you got all that power on it there, and you think, oh, I need just this little bit more. Just get a little tiny bit more speed out of it. So, and I've seen them be burnt up because of people overclocking them as well. So there's that. All right, having a bad time with the $3,800 computer, and also doing this and playing with this and trying to find out why that's not working instead of enjoying the computer by playing games or whatever. I assume you got it to play games on. I don't know what else it would, that would be for. You wouldn't need a computer for like that for anything else. All right, how do I get rid of this annoying ass Spotify connections? Connected the app to my, I don't know anything about that. Can I move my NVMe SSD with Windows from an AMD board to an Intel board without any issues? Long story short, busted my Ryzen. That's not spelled. That's a Z. Supposed to be a Z there instead of an S. Ryzen CPU, but have a whole Intel PC minus the GPU and decent storage. I have a 500 gigabyte NVMe SSD that my board has an M.2 slot for. Sorry if M.2 isn't the right term, but I've always been confused by that. But it has Windows installed from that AMD CPU. Would that make any difference? And even if I didn't use that from the SSD, am I still able to access it is storage? If you put the apostrophe there, it's it is. It's not it's, meaning belonging to it. It's this means it is whenever you have the apostrophe there. It doesn't mean belonging to. Or since I plan to get a new Ryzen CPU, should I just not touch that SSD to avoid having to install Windows? Currently using a Western Digital Black P10 for terabyte external, but it has its setbacks. Hey, I did it correctly that time. Didn't put the apostrophe there. It can't be shucked into an internal and doesn't allow PC Game Pass game install. So now looking for more memory again, lol. Alright. So it depends on if the slot, you can use it if you can boot to it. If the motherboard, if you can put that NVMe into that, if the M2 slot is NVMe compatible. And so if it can read it and boot, Windows 10 is very, very how can we put this? It's very tolerant of hardware changes. Like before, like Windows 7 and I think even 8 would, if you would do that, if you would switch out too much hardware and change it, it would just load the driver for the old thing and then blue screen. What it does now, I believe, I didn't design it, so I'm not really sure, but what it does now is it says, hey, there's new software here. Let's not load that driver. Let's see if we have a Windows default driver, or I can try to download the driver from it from the internet if it has internet access. But we can use the default thing, and well, let's just use that then. And then it checks all the other hardware and does that each time. It detects new hardware. If it detects the same hardware, then it just uses the driver that it had been using. So it's very tolerant. So if it's compatible, if that drive is compatible with that motherboard, and it can read the data on it, then yeah, you should be able to boot to it. And unless like everything is different, and I've even seen that work as well. You don't really get blue screens from that much anymore. So let's see what the comments are. If it's Windows 10, you can just place the SSD there and it will work. You will only have to deal with the activation and installation of the new drivers. And maybe it's a good idea to uninstall any program intended to manage and install drivers from the previous computer. Yep. And the activation, you can tell it that you changed out some hardware, and it'll still keep going. So yeah, okay, that's it. That's the only thing. But yeah, you can like say, yeah, I changed out the hard drive, that kind of thing, or changed out the motherboard, that kind of thing. And I don't even think you have to what's that called? You reactivate it. So yeah, as long as it can see. So assuming that it's NVMe compatible, then yeah, then you should be able to do that. Alrighty, 9:11 is the time, and so we'll call it a night. Check out next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Washington football team schedule. There's a Monday night game coming up. Not till the 29th. That is a Monday, isn't it? Yes, that is a Monday. So on the 29th, I won't be watching. I mean, I won't be. I'll do it Tuesday night probably on that. But so next week will be Ramsey coach support. Next Monday, the 8th, so the 15th, we'll be doing Ramsey coach support. Next Monday through Friday is the Ramsey Show After Show. Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. except when preempted on Saturday night Ohio State Buckeye games, which there could be 2 more coming up, probably Michigan State and I think coming up Purdue, Michigan State, and then the team up north, which I know I'm aware of the Michigan State, but Michigan State hasn't don't have quite the rivalry with them, although they've caused more problems recently than the team up north has. But anyway, so, and the last game of the regular season will be against the team from up north, and that is already set as a noon kick, high noon kick there. So it should just be one more of those. So, and that is for Saturday night. And in that case, I will play games at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's Old Man Video Gaming, and that's where I play solo games. Sundays, if Bella is available, we at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we play co-op games, and that's my daughter and father-daughter video gaming. And I think that's it. I may try to do a show where I recap Curse of Oak Island. Maybe I will see about that. I don't know if I do. I keep trying to do more and more stuff, and I don't have any less time. I did a Curse of Oak Island live chat along to the season 9 premiere, and so I thought, how many 40 views on that. So I might do that. I would start it up with like a complete overview of the whole situation, since the money pit on the island was first discovered way back in late 1700s, I think. And also do a fast recap of the most important stuff from seasons 1 through 8, and then do each episode as each episode comes out. but we'll see if I do that. In the music playlist, we have the Baby Step song, the John Deloney song, and me reacting to John Deloney's reaction to the to the John Deloney song. All right, so I think that's it for now. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you know when I am going to be live. And if you look in the chat, you can just click on these links, but you can also do that right here. Schedule free consultation. That takes you to ramseycoach.com/Coach Steve Money, and that will let you just schedule a free financial coaching consultation assessment with me. This P right here will take you to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money and let you do donations. I don't qualify for donations, as you can see right here where it says 86 subscribers. That needs to be 1,000. And so perhaps one day we'll get there. And right there is my Instagram, Coach Steve Money, no spaces. And as always, make smart financial decisions.